I have to close the book on the Saleh Liam Coen fight, but Kyle Shanahan was asked if
I have a little more detail on that.
Oh, okay, go. Let me hear it.
So I think apparently, according to an onlooker, I
An
think
onlooker.
I think I think when Liam Cohen first passed Robert Saleh, I think Saleh actually made an attempt to go up and like apologize, and
Oh,
Liam then said, "Nah, I got nothing to say to you, bro." And
okay.
then walked the 10, 15 yards and then turned around and yelled, "Keep my name out of your mouth." So he said he
Oh,
didn't have anything to
oh,
say to him when they were face to face, and then he had something. It's just what a weird
oh.
situation.
That's disappointing.
The thing that sucks, Liam's done a really, really good job, and they're 3-1, and that's what we should be talking about. Is they've got a
And we
huge,
do. I mean, he made. I was as critical as anybody of the greenness of the staff, and Campanale has done nothing but put himself in the conversation for assistant coach of the year, flat
right.
out.
And once people get a load of his like personality,
Oh yeah,
I bet we're going to be talking about head coach with him.
I think so too. I
Yeah,
absolutely think so. But Kyle was asked if any coach could beat up Robert Saleh, and
that was
he said,
great.
and his response was
You could tell
just
how much Kyle was so happy to get that question. Like the shit eating grin on his face when he got asked that question was fantastic.
I'm I'm like interpreting it now in real time. And Kyle's tough to make smile too. Like I had a question for him that I had to ask.
He was
At
so happy to get that question. You could tell
Oh,
it
I
was
know.
great.
I had a question that I had to ask him at the Super Bowl, and I tried to phrase it in a way that wasn't like people make fun of you for this,
Yeah,
and I didn't do a good job. And immediately you just see like
he's
the
he,
RBF, and you're just like, I'm fucked. I'm not
he's
getting
more
a good
self-aware
answer.
than people give him credit for too.
Oh, I
Like,
do. I think so too. Yeah.
yeah, he's a really sharp guy that way. And like I thought his answer was great. And like I think he said like the Dan Campbell thing. Like, so I don't know if you saw it, but I did tweet out my if there was a 32-man fight bracket among the head coaches, who my final four would be. I think our buddy Tyler Dunn actually picked up on it too. I'm not sure what he tweeted, but he reacted to it. So my final four, if I was filling out my bracket here, and maybe we will do this at some point because it's always a good exercise. My final four: Dan Campbell, Detroit; Aaron Glenn, Jets; D'Amico Ryans, Houston; Mike Vrabel, New England. Now,
Okay.
I feel like that's uncreative and a little too easy because it's four former players, but I just have a hard time taking any one of those four off the list.
Okay.
And
Here's
Todd
mine.
Bowles is a contender. He's another ex-player. I think you have a few guys like I think Mike McDonald is an interesting one. I think we've talked
Quiet
about that,
storm.
right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah. A little bit of
So
a quiet storm. Yeah.
like Sean McDermott and
Okay.
Danny
All
can
right.
have the
All right. All right. Hold
Sean
on. Hold
McDermott.
on.
Yeah,
Yeah, all right. I'm gonna do mine. I don't want you to start stealing my answers,
because
okay?
they have the wrestling
Because
background. Go ahead.
I have
All
a
right.
very different. very
Oh,
different
you
Final
do.
Four than you. Yeah,
Okay. All right.
extremely different.
Okay.
Okay,
Let's go.
so here's mine. Okay, it's Sean McDermott
Yep.
because I think that wrestlers are so annoying in the best possible way. Like
Right.
if you've ever gotten into a fight with
Oh,
a wrestler, all of a
dude,
sudden you are just like in a pretzel
dude,
and you
it's
don't know what happened.
on my like the most tenacious guy. Like my high school team was this kid Tim Murphy, who when he was like in like fifth or sixth grade, like he showed up to like Pop Warner practice. He's a year younger than me, so he was playing with my brother. My brother was like was playing a year up, and like he shows up like for practice with like taped glasses and like didn't look like anything, skinny as hell.
Yeah,
Like they start hitting, he's murdering
murdering
people.
people. Yeah.
And so he winds up being a high school wrestler, like a champion. I think he wound up like deep in the state bracket and in wrestling and all that. And but he was a safety for us. And the craziest dude, like he would be dropping weight at the end of our football season for wrestling. So he's still playing safety for us at a really high level. Meanwhile, his fucking lips are turning blue
Yeah.
because he's been losing weight because he's cutting weight for wrestling. And we actually used him in spots against certain teams as a nose guard because he was able to, because he could get low to the ground and he could get in the backfield so fast. So he was like our monster back, which is our strong safety, right? And then we would use him on the nose. I'm with you. Wrestlers like Tim Murphy's my example. I'm sure everyone has one.
Yes.
And he wasn't the only one, but he's the one that I think of when I think of that. Like wrestlers have a special little something in a fight situation that you cannot discount. And I think Dan Quinn, by the way, has wrestling background too, which a lot of people have not. I don't know that that's really uncovered as much. But
from Morristown High School, right around the corner from me in New Jersey.
Yeah. So there you go. So let's hear your final four then.
All right. So yours, just for record, was Dan Campbell. It was Aaron Glenn,
D'Amico Ryans, Mike
Vrabel. Okay. I'm going with, like I said, Sean McDermott, Dan Campbell, because I have to. I just think that leaving Dan off.
I'm writing this down, by the way. Okay.
Leaving Dan off this list is ignorant of the
and kind of like a hard-o move. Like I know better than everybody else, right?
Well, I'm 0-1 in career fights. You can still see if you're watching this on YouTube, you can see the little Owen Wilson section of my nose up here that will forever remain that way. So I'm not claiming to be an expert in the art of hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah.
But Dan Campbell, to me, I've sat next to him. I've stood up and shook his hand, and even with a titanium knee,
he's a massive human being.
Yeah, with a titanium knee, he scares the living bejesus out of me. So I have McDermott, I have Dan Campbell, and then my last two are interesting. Okay, the third one is Jim Harbaugh.
Okay, so like this is the fight dirty dynamic, right?
Yeah. So this is how I round it out. Jim Harbaugh. Like, that's the guy that you punch in the face and nothing happens. He just continues to look at you.
My pen out. I'm taking notes here because this is very important to me.
We're going to clip this, by the way. So Jim, right, you punch that guy in the face and it's like and
he smiles at you.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And maybe he's hurting on the inside, but there is a level of mental warfare,
psychological warfare.
Yes,
100%. Yes,
that you're not prepared for. And
like he is a 5-star general in the army of psychological warfare.
Yes, and even at the ripe young age of 61, I think that he's still got it. Okay, so I have Campbell. Okay, I have McDermott. I have Jim Harbaugh. And then my last one is. Can you kind of tell where I'm going with this or no?
You have a smirk on your face.
Who is the one coach in the NFL who would not ever quit on a fight ever? Like
Sirianni.
Yes, Nick Sirianni. Thank you.
Nailed it.
Not only would he come with a lead pipe in his sock and would just knock you upside the head of it. Yeah, I mean, maybe Big Dom calls in some reinforcements, but Sirianni, to me, and you talk about the wrestler growing up, kids like Nick growing up that would rather have all of their teeth removed than to lose a fight or to lose a football game.
The fighter, and I've been in a lot of schoolyard fights. I probably have a losing record. I was a troubled young man at one point. I would say Sirianni is the if I'm going down, you're coming with me fighter.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like if I'm going down, you are coming with me.
Yes.
And if I'm hurting, you're going to be hurting. He's that guy.
So, right, because there's a lot of former players in the NFL. And so I think a lot of people are inclined, like you did, to go D'Amico, to go Vrabel. But I think that there are also, and I say this in the nicest possible way and in the most complimentary way, but there's a psychopathy to it too, right? And that's how you win fights.
Okay, so
you have to be a crazy person.
Part of it for me too, though, with the four I picked. So
you're a little scratch. I'm not gonna lie.
Huh? Yeah,
you were a little scratch.
I would say, like part of it for me though isn't just that they're former players. It's like kind of the edge that they have and where they're from.
Notoriously tough dudes. Yes.
Right. And like Aaron Glenn, when he was a player, was the toughest, like the scrappiest, toughest corner in football, right? So he's kind of got like the short guy thing going, right? Like, so I have that with him. D'Amico is the smile in your face and then destroy you guy, right? Like the friendliest guy. He's gonna put his helmet in your chest and then he's gonna like reach down and pick you up like it was nothing to do that. And then with Vrabel and Campbell, I think it's the background of the two. So Dan Campbell is like Texas tough, which I think is a different thing. And then because Vrabel went to the same school that I did, my guess is that Mike Vrabel got into a few bar fights that got covered up. So I think there's probably an experience factor with Vrabel.
Look into it. It's like a tattoo scandal again.
Because I may or may not have seen football players at my school get into bar fights that never saw the light of day. So
that didn't happen at Syracuse. We properly identified and punished people.
I was
the rules.
I was in school during the John Cooper era, which was like I loved like Coop did a good job there in a lot of different ways, but we had some colorful characters on the team. Like I had to do some reporting on this guy Marco Cooper, who the day after the spring game was found passed out in his pickup truck with like a handful of guns, like hollow point bullets, a bag of ecstasy,
hollow point bullets.
Yeah. So like you can look up, if you Google Albert Breer, Marco Cooper, you will find a story from the school paper on that. And then there was this other guy when I was a freshman, sophomore, named Tim Cheatwood. And so they have a big banquet at Ohio State. And this is like Vrabel era at Ohio State. And so Tim Cheatwood was from East Cleveland, which is like where Bone Thugs are from. And so they have a big banquet. They had a big banquet, whatever, like, their annual thing, kickoff dinner, and everybody's wearing, suits and ties and the women there are wearing dinner dresses, all of that. And Tim Cheatwood shows up wearing a t-shirt that says Cleveland, home of the baddest motherfuckers on earth. And then when they go around and introduce themselves and say a little something about themselves, Tim Cheatwood stands up and says, "I'm Tim Cheatwood from Cleveland, home of the baddest motherfuckers on earth." So that's the environment Mike Vrabel came up in. Anyway,
I take mine. So McDermott from Omaha, farm tough, flatlands of America tough, and then you got Harbaugh from Toledo, please, Ohio tough, like you just mentioned. Jamestown, New York, tough. I don't know, but like for Nick Sirianni,
I think it matters though. Like,
sure,
like I think Dan Campbell comes from a part of the country where guys know how to take care of themselves.
Right. And I think that, I don't know, man. I imagine this. If we put them all in there in a Royal Rumble,
and Aaron Glenn's from Texas too, I believe.
He's from Texas, yes.
Yeah.
I just imagine you throw all these guys in here Royal Rumble style. I just have a really hard time imagining Nick Sirianni not winning.
I will say too, like Saleh is not in the bracket, but he would be a consideration as well. Like,
of course.
Speaking of where guys are from, like he's from Dearborn, and my family being from the Detroit area, I do know what being from Dearborn means. Like, probably a pretty tough guy.
Let's go on to something that's not going to get us a bunch of angry texts from coaches when this gets clipped for social media. No.
You know what I think I'm going to get from a bunch of coaches, like knowing the way they talk about this stuff, I'll probably get filled out brackets from them.
I hope so. That would be all right. If we listen, send us your brackets. I want to see your coach fight brackets.